probably be happy to talk. I'm going to go ahead and introduce them. Tonight we're really excited to have representatives from Hayfalker and also Turner's here if you have any questions for them. Tonight will be Nick Lawler, he's an architect, done a lot of hard work on this, and then Ken Hinton as well. And I think we had an open house from 4 to 6 over at the community center. We had, a few people in there. A lot of officers and police staff actually went over and saw it for the first time, so that was pretty exciting. So I'm going to turn it over to them.
Okay. Thanks, Bob.
Bob is right. He does all the work. I just sit around and collect all the thank you. Great. You've got the IT department coming with our presentation, our boards and stuff like that. So
I think Charlene was working on it.
Maybe we can go ahead and look at the exterior and talk about some of the floor plans.
So here, what you see on my right here, these are yeah, right here. So this is looking from homes in 70th Street. So you're seeing the new police entrance there, right next to City Hall. So you'll have for the public, they'll come in inside with the City Hall now. Along homes, just proximate from the pool and the community center. The two-story structure, most of you are familiar with this from before. Similar from our village charrette that we did several months ago, we guys got to see that, the evolution of that design. And then here's a view of the eastern side. So this would be on Linden Square. So Linden Square's would be right here. New police entrance there for the public currently is coming in. That would be for police staff to come in. Basically, we're going to tear off that entrance right here, put a new entry on there, and make a stairway that goes up to the second floor of the new addition. But this is the building is for safety. And what you're seeing right there is actually a couple of canopies for patrol vehicles. Keep that snow and ice off those cars. It's a lot easier for them to get in and out of the station. We're seeing brick, Gladstone, metal panels, some of the material choices, and obviously a lot of gray glass, daylight in those spaces on those close to the facade there. On the floor plan over there by Ken, we've got all the digital and see if we can bring it up to ready. We looked at about half a dozen different ways to build this station on this campus, and overwhelmingly, when we tested them all, building a kind of a linear addition down the side of the building here was an overwhelming success. It was odd. We were sitting out there one day brainstorming before we even started the design, talking about what the possibilities might be. And actually, it was Nick that came up with an idea. Hey, I'll do a linear thing on there, and I just thought, no, that probably won't work, but let's study it. As it turned out, I made a comment to you earlier tonight. Everything just fit into place so well, with the linear addition and the relationship it has to the existing lower level that I don't think we uncovered every rock, and I think we're going in the right direction. We've got the project on budget, and everything's going to go real well. I think everybody from the police side is happy with everything that they're seeing in here. But basically, we're putting a two-story building. So you come in the front door here, there'll be some kind of walkway or plaza that connects the two entrances here. And with the lobbies in this corner with the record booth, there'll be a reception window very similar to what you see here, except everything will be mold resistant, and there'll be, you'll be able to talk through the glass, but they'll be protected in there. Along this side, the investigations and the administrative divisions are along here. So this is basically half the staff work out of the top floor. On the lower level, this is just City Hall up there. Existing City Hall. There's a doorway that comes out of the building to a stair on the side. You'll be able to walk out, or the city staff will be able to walk right through that door if their card reader works. They're not going to, the city manager is probably going to be able to get through, but be able to walk right through there and come into the police station. We have a nice conference room set up. It's for all the people up here, but even city, the administrative staff might be able to use that conference room if they have big meetings too, although they've got a couple of nice meetings back here. On the lower level, the footprint grows quite a bit. So there's part of the building that's single story, and this will be looking out over the roof, and you can kind of see the roof hanging out over here. So the police officer will enter in here. Switchback stair. Our new floor will be about 3 feet lower than the existing building. Oddly enough, this building's floor-to-floor height on this building is 11 feet, and we're a little bit over 14 feet floor-to-floor here, just because we have needs to get bigger ductwork in the building. got to be able to manage all that space in there. Plus the ceiling heights will be at 9 foot in the area. These are a little bit taller than 9 here, but there'll be a nice height for the ceiling, more like a Class A office building that's being built today. As you come in here, you'll be able to turn around and go back up and go right into the entrance where the existing entrance used to be, and access the renovation we're doing here and the existing station, or go on up to the upper floor. So the hub is really efficient there for anybody that comes in the back door. They look upstairs or down. Of course, we've got there some support space, the break room, workout room, this room. Control is this dark blue area. They'll operate out of here. Here's all their lock. Very efficient operation. A drive-in back-out sally port we installed here with a booking area and a juvenile booking area in here. And this juvenile area is also going to be a storm shelter. Today, in today's world, we have to, for first responders, we have to build a storm-resistant room to house all the people all the staff that's there. You know, we just put one in the fire station, the existing fire station. And I think that room needed to be about 8 by 8 or 8 by 10 to hold the few firefighters that were there. This is obviously a little bit bigger. It's sized for 50 people, I think. So, but it's right there. We're putting a new elevator in for accessibility to link the two floors together. And this elevator actually, we got to walk up 3 feet to get into the existing. This is the old sally port that's dug out on the side of the building over there. We're just using that as the grand entryway to go into the property rooms. It goes into the dispatch area, and there's an EOC that's set up in here, part of the renovation work that's going on there. With the elevator in, so it stops here, and we'll stop 3 feet up at this landing, and it'll go all the way up to the top floor. So we're making all levels accessible. City Hall doesn't really need to be in that mix because you get one level, but the police department, since they're already using both floors, needs to have an accessible entrance. So that's the way we handle it. It works perfect for them. If they have property they need to release, they can come here, go up the elevator, and come out right on the secure side, where they'll walk right into the lobby, and they can dispatch, they can give away property and return it as necessary. So it's a very efficient operation. We'll go back here with Peter and say the site. Most of the parking, not all the parking, has been maintained. So you can have a net area for parking, which is really free up the big goal of parking. We're adding a few stalls down here. As far as we can get down to the corner, it's pretty steep as you get down to the edge. Putting about a dozen stalls in on the north side of the light right up there on the street. And that's all the parking we like out here is going to be replaced here in those areas there. So, like Nick said, it's about net zero in terms of parking. We're not losing a lot. And for a city that needs to have a big downtown events, you need to have all the parking you get. So that was a pretty important thing for the design committee to make sure that they get the stations going along here. Trying to tie our walk together because it's probably about an 8-foot drop from there to the sidewalk. So we're going to kind of stay on top of the hill. We have an alternate design that we put some stairs in there and stuff too. We decided we would build that. But that's kind of how the site lays out. We've got a dozen covered parking stalls out there, and they're all for patrol vehicles. Unfortunately, in Kansas City, we have ice storms, so worst thing that can happen is your whole force comes out and get in their cars, and they got to spend 20 minutes on ice off their windows before they can go over to answer a call or something like that. So that's a pretty important thing from that aspect too. All the roads and everything out there, we're not really touching any of that. We are putting a new service entrance in here. It's right on top of the existing transformer path. We're putting a generator in there that has the ability to back up the entire police station, and a lot of the stuff at City Hall is going to be rewired to be an emergency generator as well. So we're going to rework the power supply to the City Hall too for a lot of things. Not everything. The mechanical system for City Hall will not be on a generator, but the mechanical system, heating and air conditioning for the police station will be on the generator. So it's just another big upgrade. You know, split City Hall's power, but everything else will be on the generator backup in the future. So that's kind of a positive thing that came out of this. It's fairly easy to do, just rewiring the circuits to those two panels, and everything will be screened out there. The generator right in there, really nice. It'll be screened with a nice seat wall of stone and then a metal panel above it, something that looks nice on the front of your building. And we'll certainly talk about that too. We have a couple more slides. The interior rendering that we've done. These are flat two elevations. There's multiple elevations there. The top one is to the side. It's all kind of the white map, you know. And the second one really down is the thing off the side. We can go back to that one.
one of the things that we've done here is we've, here's the entry. Right as you're coming from the side, we've driven this clear-story space all the way down to the spine of the upper floor. You know, anytime you build a building against the building, at least half the building would have new windows in it. So clear-story light come in into the main kind of hallway, and the open offices that open up to that. We're going to get a lot of transparency. Of course, we have windows on the south side of the building, but on the north side, there'll be a lot of clear-story light. Something we can keep the glare down, but let that light in. We'll actually have the ability to have light sensors in that area, so if you got a lot of natural light coming in, the light bulb can just dim down and say the interview. And that's a nice thing with it, the LED fixtures, they can dim like that. And the code requires us to do things like that, but it's just a nice advantage of having a newer building, a new addition, from an energy efficiency standpoint. And then the secure door will be back in the background there. Can you back up? And then there's some display case for some of their memorabilia. The history of the department will be able to be displayed in the lobby, which will be a nice feature. And that lobby is probably twice the size of the one downstairs that they have right now. It's not huge, but it's a nice sized lobby. It feels like a nice sized department. It's more comparable to what we have going out here in City Hall.
So you down that long story with the administration suite on the left, and then strip coffee bar area for the folks who look on the level.
What happens is really right in here. Right in this area here. Coffee bar here, a lot of clear story light coming in, a little seating area here, and there's that stair that links you downstairs. So it'll really have an impact on this whole spine along here. Some of their support space, like restrooms and things like that, are on this side of the hall because they're communal for everyone. But each individual department has the ability to function internally. And we've gone through a pretty good tug of war on who gets what and how we're going to do things. And we came up, for instance, rather than give every one of these departments its own coffee bar or sink with a coffee pot, let's just do a nice one up here because the whole facility has a break room right downstairs that they really kind of want people to do lunches down there and use it as much as possible. So those kind of decisions have been going on over the last couple of months to really allow us to pull this thing, give them everything they need, and with the money that's available. So.
This is just around that corner, that church. Okay, by that church. There's a whole area that you can start to stay on that lower level, the open office apartment. This would be the police break room, also the main entrance there, so that should be looking at all of police staff and police staff will come in this way.
One of the things we've been doing for years is, it's difficult to justify a big lobby for the staff entrance. And every police station or police station I've ever been in, everybody's coming to work down the back hallway. I mean, the public got this big grand lobby to come in, but the staff who are there every day, well, this is a way, by taking that break room and putting it right by the entrance of the door, we kind of created a lobby for them. It's also a gathering space because it is for everybody. And it allows us to widen that out without actually spending extra money, and we're not really providing a lobby, but this is a lobby for demonstrators. That's one of the things people saw in some of the tours of facilities that we toured a while back, and that was a real successful thing. So they said, well, let's try to do that here. But we're going to have the church site here, which is other equipment. We'll be right next to that.
And this is some of the next steps. Right now, when the construction documents stay, about 6 weeks, we'll finish up the drawing, and then we'll go out there every January, and groundbreaking, February of next year.
Depending on how deep the snow is. If it's not deep, it might be March. If it's not deep, it will definitely be February. Any questions about the building or anything specific you would like us to address? That was kind of a 30,000-foot view real quick.
On the back entrance with the stairs, I understand we have the elevator that's up front. So for any of our handicapped associates, they'll have to come clear to the front of the building to have access, correct?
Yes, they will. There are any that are like that. Many of the time in a police station, because of the requirements to do the job, the physical requirements that are associated with it. The elevator is incidental to the primary function of the building, but that is a good point. There is some accessible parking out in front that the people could use as well, but they come in there and it's probably, I don't know, 100 feet down that hallway to the elevator.
If you were, an officer that's injured or having to, have to come in the back, it's all accessible, right? And you go up this elevator, go up 3 feet, you need to go below the hall as well. Technically, you couldn't come in that back room still and access the whole building.
Questions?
Back on the front view, have we looked at those spines and what we're going to do with those to try to incorporate them?
We've looked at a couple different things. I don't know. We've got a rendering that shows kind of an upgrade to the front of City Hall. Do you want to show that? Can you pull that rendering up, Dave? Because this building was a thought, one of the things that we did was we said, okay, if we were going to try to make the front of City Hall look, I think that electronic is going to put it there. You don't know which one it is now, do you? That's all right. You were looking for this to look it out when you found this. Oh, no, never mind. Was that been recorded somewhere? Sorry, that's my brother. And again, the graphics are kind of simple. We took this out of one of the earlier models. But the thought is we could renovate the front of City Hall with metal panels and things to make it look more like a police station. The idea is to rebuild from the planners and things out here, make a nice full line with City Hall, get us staring out here close to the police entry, if we would use this, really turn this into a flag plaza. And again, this is an early model, but we thought there are actually windows in the basement all along the entire front of the building. Yeah. And right now they go into the jail and things. Well, those are going to be property rooms, so there's no real reason to bury them. Our thought is we'll come in about 5 feet, just about a foot in front of these fins, and put a retaining wall in and let it just drop down. We'll handle it so it doesn't fill up with water, so we don't have to worry about flooding. But we thought we could leave those fins in there as a backdrop to the plaza. Put a nice light along the bottom of that so that they kind of shine, so those fins just become a background rhythm behind the plaza. Nice. Up there, we can make this, both buildings really look very dynamic. We probably will do a little bit of accent lighting down here if we decide to go that way, just to keep it balanced out. But the idea is, to answer your question, we're not really planning on dealing with those fins very much. They're solid concrete. I don't know how much it would cost to cut one of those off, but I'll comment back there. But I'm thinking it's probably 2 or 3 days for a couple of people to do each one of those. So it might be $10,000 or $15,000 per fin to try to cut those things off the building. I like the way you're addressing it. So expensive, it's better for us to just embrace what they all are. They were there for a reason, so rather than just lemonade and try to use it in a positive way, and we think a backdrop to this flag plaza, which is serving both buildings, would be a very beautiful thing. But this is an item that we would need to bid, and it's in the base budget for the building, because the City Hall project wasn't part of the scope. But certainly we could draw it on and see what it costs to do it. I think you have a process for the upgrade if you want to talk about that. Does that answer your question, or did I go around? Okay, thank you.
Just a point of clarification. So what is not in the bid, the new face of City Hall and the plaza, or just the face?
So this isn't a curve-based bid, what you're seeing here. This is City Hall, facade. Instead of that plaza with those new planters, those steps, their system would be what you have existing, those two ramps that pick you up, and then a sidewalk. A sidewalk that takes you from here to the station.
And the only access is original and then across the sidewalk?
Correct. It's just so hard. We looked at doing this independently down here, and the ramp was almost as expensive as building the plaza. It's just down and back, down and back. It was 60 feet of ramp, which is not, that would be a complete change of life for this when you already have a ramp that works, and it's another 50 feet down the sidewalk.
But this design does demolish those existing ramps and build things like this type of thing.
I'd like to see that as an option, definitely.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. We're technically in schematic design at this point, is that correct?
No, we're a little bit farther.
We're farther than that?
Yeah, we're in the construction document phase of the project.
Oh, we're that far? Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I was wondering how many more decision points there are going to be moving forward between now and the time we're ready to put this out to bid. And hell, if we're in the construction documents phase, that would mean not many.
Yeah, we're probably 3 months from finishing. Ready for Christmas.
Okay.
The real decision point we have is really this entry. I think everything else is, Scott, would you agree we're on the budget a little close?
Yeah, I think what the architects have presented tonight is basically a refinement from the documents that you saw last time we brought this to you. So it's just a progress update. We wanted to bring the new entry to City Hall to you from a separate funding source. So we wanted to get your reaction to that, and if the council likes that, then we'll seek the funding probably from the first issued COP last year that has $1 million in City Hall. We'll combine that with some other funding sources and see if we can make that happen, but we want to gauge the council's reaction. The other thing that's not part of this project is the co-locate dispatch construction dollars. I don't know if Mr. Hinton referenced that or not, but those two things aren't part of it, and if the council shows their support for both of those, we'll come back to you with a real funding scenario on both of those and then move the project forward. The schedule's aggressive, so as Mayor Pro Tem said, we don't have a lot of time. Mayor Pro Tem did send us about 12-ish questions late this morning, so we'll get those answers to those put together and then back to the full council sometime tomorrow probably. So.
When you talk about co-locating dispatches, this area, right now, this is set up for 3 dispatchers in an office. The co-location would be right in here, just expand a little bit more, but it's all consolidated right there, using the existing IT room as they try to expand on what's going on there. It's a pretty nice plan, there's enough space to put the other departments in, so.
Okay. Ken? Go ahead, Tina.
Just one more thing.
Have to go. When we sat down over at the community center, we were talking about this and we were looking at the, original drawings and whatnot. One of the things that came up was court. And if we were going to leave court here, if we were going to try and, move it over into the new area. And so from what it looks, we're staying right here.
Staying right here. And that's part of a larger City Hall conversation. We have worked with the municipal court and have some options in terms of timing and days and scheduling that might help the rudimentary concern there of the mixing populations. So I think we're going to be able to address it procedurally.
Okay. Ken, Nick, thank you. Exciting. I look forward to your next time here. Thank you.
You could get that picture right there. Beautiful.
Oh.
I want to say that. Maybe I knew.
I'm a forward.
We're talking about how we like the front, the way it's designed there on that slide. We'd really like to see them come back to us with a proposal.
Yeah. Absolutely. Will do.
Well, thank you. We'll conclude the study session. We'll get started here at 7:30. Thanks. Take care, Ken. 1 to the Monday, October 25th, 2021, regular meeting of the Gladstone City Council, and call this meeting to order. I'd like to ask our Madam Clerk if you would please call the roll.
Here?
Here.
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 Here. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like everybody to please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance after the posting of the colors.
Mr. Mayor, the colors are present.
Post the colors. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. It's VFW 10906. Carla Gleaton was the commander this evening, along with Gordon Harris, Jim Zimmerman, and Dennis Perkins. Item 4 on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there anyone on the City Council who wishes to make a change to tonight's agenda? Seeing none, the agenda will stand as it was presented. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the October 11th, 2021 closed City Council meeting.
Mayor Malams.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I move to approve the October 11th, 2021 closed City Council meeting minutes.
Second?
Thank you. It's moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the October 11th, 2021 closed City Council meeting minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The minutes are here approved. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the October 11th, 2021 regular City Council meeting.
Mayor Malams.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I move to approve the October 11th, 2021 regular City Council meeting minutes.
Second?
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the October 11th, 2021 regular City Council meeting minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The minutes are hereby approved. The next item on the agenda, and I would like to ask our visitors if they would please join me in front of our City Council here. It's going to be a proclamation for National American Indian Heritage Month. And let's see. All right. Is it Maggie? Yes. All right. Look at the ladies coming on now. Wonderful. I'd like to introduce our folks here. Are the Underwoods going to join us? Yeah. All right. Great. Oh, gosh. Okay. We have a proclamation that we'd like to present to you to recognize this wonderful month designated by President Bush, and I'll share with everybody the proclamation. It's from the Proclamation of the Mayor, National Society, our Daughters of American Revolution, and the American Indians Committee. Whereas the history and the culture of our nation has significantly been influenced by American Indians and indigenous people, and whereas the contributions of American Indians have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of America today, and whereas their customs and their traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United in 1976, and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved then by President George Bush in August of 1990, designating the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month. Whereas in honor of National American Indian Heritage Month, community scholarships run numerous cultural, artistic, educational, and historic activities have been planned. Now, therefore, I, R.D. Mallins, Mayor for the City of Gladstone, Missouri, on behalf of the City Council and all of the residents of Gladstone, Missouri, do hereby proclaim November as National American Indian Heritage Month, and urge all of our citizens to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Would you like to introduce who you have brought with us to the Twitter? Marcy and
Margie, I'm Maggie Henderson. I'm the region of the William Boyson chapter, CAR, here in Gladstone. Susan Dowden, our chapter chaplain. This is Judy and Jim Cronister, who are our guests as well. Jim Cronister is a Native American, and we're here to celebrate him as part of Native American Heritage Month. And Patty Underwood is also a member of our chapter. Her mother, Margie Underwood, spent a lot of time with the Boys and Girls.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for being here and giving us your time to be with us this evening.
We thank you, Mayor Mallon.
Oh.
We appreciate this.
Thank you. You do a wonderful job. The next item on the agenda is the communication from the audience. Members of the public are invited to speak on any topic that's not listed on tonight's agenda. When speaking, please step up to the podium, state your name and your address, and try to record and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Seeing none, we'll move on to the communications from our City Council, and I'll begin with Councilmember Moore.
I have nothing this evening, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Spalla?
I have nothing either.
Gosh.
No.
Councilman Frisbee?
Well, now that you asked, I just want to remind our residents and everyone here, the weather is, we found out today, a little bit of an Eeyore day. It's got a little blustery, and that we have a very nice facility sitting right over there in the corner. So if you want to continue your exercising through the winter months, come check out the community center, because it's a very, very nice facility, and I've been to quite a few facilities around this city to use them, and it is by far the cleanest facility. It was clean before COVID. They have taken it to the next level, and even though a lot of the COVID things are dying down, the level of cleanliness is still superb. So very nice job back there, Mr. Murphy. And again, you know, just because it's getting colder doesn't mean you can't continue your exercising.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Had a good meeting last week with the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Got a good update on all the many projects we have going on, and we got a lot of things going on in the city, and about half of them are Parks and Rec related and things that the advisory board member all have keen interest in. So we're updated and had a good meeting. That's it. Thank you.
Well, just for general information, on Friday, we will go to the community center as members of the City Council. We'll be meeting with our city manager and the city's leadership team to review the short-term and the long-term goals that we set a year ago. And we'll spend a day in a work session looking again at the future, short-term and long-term. It's a very worthwhile endeavor on the city's leadership team and also on the City Council. And again, we live in a great place, and Friday will be a wonderful day for us to continue to move forward. City Manager Wingerson.
Mayor, members of the council, good evening. Just one thing, just to let you know that Public Works and Parks have been practicing for snow removal. Hard to believe it's that time of year, but it is. So following up on Councilman Frisbee's comments about the community center, our folks are getting ready for a different kind of cold as well. Thank you.
We won't talk about the game.
Oh, no.
Supposed to do better being there.
Oh. We'll look at the next item on the agenda. It's item number 11. It's a resolution R-21-49. A resolution authorizing acceptance of the work under contract with Parrish and Sons Construction, LLC, for the 2021 curb, gutter, sidewalk, and trail program, Phase 1 project, and authorizing a final payment in the amount of $10,997.78 for project TP 2104.
Mayor Mellon,
Councilmember Moore.
I move for the adoption of Resolution R-21-49.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution R-21-49. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving resolution R-21-49 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Resolution R-21-49 is hereby approved. The next item on the agenda is a resolution. It's 21-50, a resolution supporting co-location of public safety answering points for the City of Gladstone, Liberty, Excelsior Springs, and the Clay County Sheriff's Department, and then to authorize the city manager to proceed with the design of a communications area sufficient to accommodate co-locating dispatching as part of the police headquarters project.
Mayor Mellon.
Councilmember Spallo.
I move to adopt Resolution 21-50.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution R-21-50. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving resolution R-21-50 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The resolution R-21-50 is hereby approved. The next item on the agenda is the first reading of Bill number 21-36. It's an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Gladstone and Mid-America Regional Council, MARC, Solid Waste Management District for 2022 Regional Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program in the amount of $29,248.67.
Mayor Mellon.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Move to place Bill number 21-36 on its first reading.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to place Bill number 21-36 on its first reading. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all those in place of placing Bill number 21-36 on its first reading signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Mayor Mellon.
Mayor Pro Tem Garnis.
I move to accept the first reading of Bill number 21-36, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the first reading of Bill number 21-36, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of placing Bill number 21-36 on its second and final reading signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Mayor Mellon.
Councilmember Garnis.
I move to accept the second and final reading of Bill number 21-36 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.572.
Second?
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to accept the second and final reading of Bill number 21-36 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.572. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Aye.
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 Aye. Bill number 21-36 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.572. The next item on the agenda is to consider the building permit for Chapel Hill Elementary School at 3220 Northeast 67th Terrace in the city of Gladstone, Missouri.
Mayor Mallon,
Councilmember Moore.
I move to approve the building permit for Chapel Hill Elementary School.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the building permit for the Chapel Hill Elementary School. Is there any discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the building permit for Chapel Hill Elementary signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The building permit is approved. The 15th item on tonight's agenda is to consider and possibly approve the financial report for the 3 months ending September 30th, 2021.
Mr. Malams.
Councilmember Garnis.
I move to consider approve the financial report for the 3 months ending September 30th, 2021.
Second?
Moved and seconded to approve the financial report for the 3 months ending September 30th, 2021. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the financial report for the 3 months ending September 30th, 2021 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. The financial report is hereby approved. Is there any other business to present before the City Council this evening? We stand adjourned.